to Show Up, Stand Out Online Visibility Series for Entrepreneurs. My name is Juliette Stapleton. I'm your host, known as the Queen of Visibility. Today, I have another queen in the house, guys. I want to introduce you to a wonderful Queen of Clarity and the host of Get Fucking Real show. And if you have an issue with us swearing, you will have to tune out now or forever hold your mouth shut, because we will have to talk real things. We have to, we have to say things as they are, and this is what the show is about, but you will not regret it. So please stay with us. And so I want to introduce you to Lisa Cherney. Lisa, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here, and it's always good to break the ice on saying the F word right off the bat. And I can even talk into why I chose to use that word, and it's not just to get attention and to be salacious. There's actually a specific purpose. So, we can talk about that. We can talk about anything.
Definitely. Guys, before we start talking, let me just give you a little introduction of who Lisa is and what's her background. She has been mentoring millionaire entrepreneurs for over 20 years. And yes, as I mentioned, she has a groundbreaking, concession-based, Get Fucking Real podcast. And she's a creator of something that we're going to talk about. I absolutely am in love with these 12 GFR, which you can guess is Get Fucking Real, commandments. And guys, this is something that, this is something everybody should have, laminate and have on your desk. So, for me, I don't usually say that there they are there. Even if you're watching this on video, you can see. If you're not watching this on video, if you're just listening to a podcast, there is a link here in the show notes. So you will grab it, but stay with us for the moment. So what else? Lisa have been after 15 years in business, and she's been speaking on over 1,000 times on stages. She got real and dismantled her very successful 7-figure business as the juicy marketing expert. So she learned that because something is successful and people like it, it doesn't mean that you have to keep doing it. I absolutely love it. Can I just say, this is so true.
I know, it's such a relief, right? Oh, phew.
I know, and I actually decommitting and, really letting go of things that don't serve, whether they are something that gives you security financially or not. I think that that's the way to go. So this is, I'm like, all the tick boxes, well, as I'm reading this introduction, is ticked for me. So that's why I'm so excited. And I always say I'm excited on the show, but I'm really excited today. So, let me now I got distracted and I lost my place, but I think we're just going to talk straight to the point.
Yeah, let's just talk.
The F word.
Yeah. So I was in a place of reinvention about a year ago, as most mission-driven entrepreneurs are. Like, y'all, let's just get real about it's an upward spiral, and as we grow and evolve, so does our business. So you can stop beating yourself up about needing to change things, right? So I was in the place of I knew I needed to change things, and I was writing some notes about these are the ways over the last 20 years of mentoring 6- and 7-figure business owners. These are the ways that I've helped them. And then I had this light bulb moment, Juliette, where I was like, oh my gosh, there's actually 12 ways that my clients have gotten in their way. And not only have these 12 ways gotten in their way, but these 12 ways also keep them from maximizing other investments that they've made, right? And other systems and programs and steps and all that, including my own marketing stuff at the time. And so when I realized that and how important that was, I said, you know what? I need to help entrepreneurs get real about what's getting in their way, because they have really important work to do. But I realized get real wasn't urgent enough. And it didn't actually have the direction that I really, it didn't have the urgency. Because I believe that everyone listening, we're the ones that are going to heal this planet. Our work, our inspiration, our purpose, the way that we want to serve is the thing that's going to change things around here, And so the F word added urgency. So now it's GFR, Get Fucking Real. And my show was about confessions and straight talk from successful, soulful entrepreneurs. So you can see it's not a straight line. It is messy. There is required struggle, which many have experienced just to even birth the thing that you're birthing. And so that's why the F word.
I absolutely love it. You know, you said as well when we were organizing the show, you said that mission-based business owners, they make a lot of little compromises along the way based on what they think they should be doing, what the others want, and what will make the most money. I love that. Well, I love and hate that word compromise, but recently there was something that was a big eye-opener for me. I actually read a book called Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, and he's saying, he was talking about the compromise as, for example, if you had a black suit and would you wear one black shoe and one brown shoe because you kind of like both, and this is not, so compromise is not actually the same. It's like wearing two different shoes, and it doesn't make any sense. You know, you really do have to get real and make a choice and make a difference, you know. And
well, I say when you're trying to market to everybody, like if you're splitting the difference and you're trying to market to everybody, you're watering yourself down. You're marketing to no one. Or and even more tragic is you're not going to attract the clients that actually really need you and would love the authentic you and would really resonate with your in-your-face message or your truth talking. They don't get to hear that, and then you don't get to do your mission at the level or the capacity that you really should be.
I think that ties in with one of your commandments, isn't it? I think it is commandment number 3. Don't worry about being normal, proper, or polite.
Oh, I freaking love this one when it comes to marketing. Don't worry about being normal, proper, or polite. And this is one that I live into in a big way, obviously with the show name. And I didn't get away unscathed with pushback and judgment and people trying to keep me down and not do this. You know, people, like I said that, you know, I was trying too hard, or you're just trying to be salacious. You're just trying to get people's attention. And really, you know, it was great because I got to like really check in and reaffirm, like, no, this is me. This is the language that I feel like I need to talk in order to get the attention of the people that I want to get the attention of. And the people that get turned off are not my people. And so, yes, commandment number 3, don't worry about being normal, proper, polite. And each commandment has a confession question. And you and I were talking about these before the show, so you're going to share with everybody in a little bit which one really, I always say, read the confession questions and then like see which one hits you in the gut. And so you were sharing with me which one hit you in the gut at the time that you read them. So we could share that in a bit. This one hits me in the gut almost every time. The confession question for this, don't worry about being normal, proper, or polite, is where are you not speaking your truth? So there's 2 ways that this shows up, Juliette. One is in our marketing and the other is in our life, right? So in our marketing, where are we not speaking our truth? Where are we watering things down? Where are we worried about offending somebody? Where are we not owning our soapbox? Like, our soapbox is our superpower. And you all can quote me on that. Our soapbox is our superpower. And if we don't stand on that and we don't like go with the fire in our belly, we're actually eliminating a huge advantage we have as a mission-driven entrepreneur. So that's where we water it down in our marketing. And then we don't speak our truth in our life. And I just always like to illuminate, especially for mission-driven entrepreneurs, this isn't just about marketing and sales. Like Juliette has this great show. It's focused on marketing and visibility and all that. But she also knows, like, it's an inside job, right? So wherever you're not speaking your truth in your life, I guarantee you it is slowing down your mission or it's stopping it in its tracks. And so that's like my mission is to help you all that are supposed to be healing this planet, you know, identify the bullshit stories that are in your way through these commandments, and also help you to be ignited in your marketing, in your selling, in the things that you're putting out there.
This is so interesting. Actually, you're speaking against kind of people pleasing and operating from a people pleaser's stance, which is in a way damaging to you because you end up resenting yourself and your business because you're attracting nightmare clients and, you know, everything is just misaligned and there's no enjoyment and it's just pressure. And I know that because I went through that. I actually have to say, for me, the more visible I became and the more I worked with being more visible and speaking my truth, the more in my personal life this also aligned. I was saying, no, hang on a second. I don't want to tolerate this. I don't want to be putting up with stuff that makes me resent myself. I just want to have flow. And the more visibility required guts, the more guts I had to actually say, hey, this is what I want. And it changes absolutely everything.
It's beautiful, and it's so attractive. Like, let's just talk about what is attraction, and we throw that word around all the time in marketing. And I'm looking at you, and yes, you know, someone could say, oh, Juliette is a beautiful woman. But I'll tell you, what attracts me to you is your spirit, right? It's your spirit. It's your boldness. It's your truth telling. It's the space that you hold in your show. And that's what I want for everyone. So those of you that have put me on a pedestal, put Juliette on a pedestal, oh, that works for them. That's bullshit, because it's that, it's right. It's that thinking, that separation that has you feeling like you're different and this won't work for you, but it will. And I would love to give people a question they can ask themselves that would help take commandment number 3 and help them illuminate their marketing. Should we give that to them?
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's the question, and if I was with you live, I'd have you raise your hand, because when I give people questions, you're going to write it down. Okay, great, you're going to write it down, but are you going to do anything with it? So my challenge to you is that you answer the question, but then you don't just answer it and then put it away, that you actually take action, right? Like, what action are you going to take from the time that you're putting this in your ears or watching this video? Like, what action are you going to take? So I'm going to share a question with you, and I'd love for you to write it down, answer it, and then take action from it, okay? So here's the question. If you could say anything in your marketing without any backlash or turning anyone off, what would you say? What would you say? Because that is your access point. Like, that's your soapbox. Like, that's when you're at a dinner party and you've had a couple drinks and you find yourself completely talking someone's ear off, and then you're like, oh my God, I've been talking for a long time. Like, that's what you want to access, but you want to put that in your marketing. So I'm going to say it again. If you could say anything in your marketing without any backlash or turning anybody off, what would you say? And of course, for me, I would say, get fucking real about what's getting in the way of your mission, so that you could start to help the people that you're supposed to help, and so that you don't end your life or get in the end of your days without feeling fulfilled, right? Without saying the things you wanted to say, without doing the things you want to do, so that you're not saying, oh, that struggle and that bad thing that happened to me, I really wish I helped people because of it. That's what I don't want you to do. And that's what I would say in my marketing if I was to say anything. So what would you say in your marketing?
Actually, my thing is very complimentary to you. And I definitely would say something along the lines that the only person that's in your way is you, and it's time to face it and stop making any excuses. And I do say that in my marketing, in all fairness, because I've learned that the hard way, that unless you actually say something and you're not worrying about offending somebody, but first of all, if they got offended, they're not the perfect person. And this is my stance now in life as well. Somebody doesn't like the way, if I give out about, I live in Ireland, I don't like Ireland, I talk about Ireland sometimes in a very negative sense. That's me. You don't like it, you're not my perfect person. Or maybe you don't like it, but maybe you'll still accept it because you think that Juliette's just in the wrong place. And these kind of the things, you can't be holding yourself back, because I think that the most important thing is to be straightforward and speaking your truth, especially online, especially in your marketing, because people work with people. So by showing up real as you are and allowing people to the taste of who you are, what your values are, all these things in a true, authentic sense, you are attracting the perfect people. I know that for a fact. Right now, I have only perfect people around me. This feels great.
Yes, I love what you're saying. And that's the whole mission behind my podcast. So y'all could find it on Apple and Google Play and Spotify and all that. Get fucking real. Just search for my name, Lisa Cherney. If you want to be inspired on a day-to-day basis with people that are speaking their truth, that are owning their yucky stories. I mean, about being in jail, about going through bankruptcy, about being abusive, about being narcissist. Like, these people are confessing, these mission-driven, successful mission-driven entrepreneurs are confessing the yucky struggle story that birthed this new thing that they are doing, this next level. So if that resonates with you, if something you want to feed yourself with on a, weekly basis, tune into the show, because that's the mission of the show. It's free. Feed yourself with free stuff. And if you want to be around me, you listen to the show, you'll hear about our GFR squad membership, which is super low investment, but it's just, I wanted to create a community, and I love this conversation, and I love the community that you're creating, Juliette. Like, I want to create community around people that are GFRing, in service of their mission. So if this resonates with you, take some action. Answer that question, download the commandments that we're going to give you the link, or listen to the podcast, something to continue the energy of this GFR if it's resonating with you.
It's absolute. And you know what, even though we're running out of time, and I wanted to talk about a completely different, not different, but the next commandment in line. But what you just said, it's all about feeding that fire in your belly, right? Being fired up so you have motivation and strength and drive to go and, basically make your dreams come true. That's what we are doing when we are being real, and we're choosing things that serve us. Right? Can
Absolutely.
I share, before I let you go, what at the moment when I downloaded this freebie, it was about a month ago, sometime this summer, and I printed it out because I loved it. It's so pretty. Can you show it again, please?
Yes, it is super pretty. It's super pretty.
I just love it. It's like, and it's, it's pretty, but it's strong. It's strong. You cannot sort of like wave it away. It's just there in your face, and you're like, did you do this? So there is one commandment, and it's commandment number 11. And oh my gosh, this is something I didn't realize up until I started thinking about it, but 11 is my favorite number, right? You know that because I have 11 day challenge, and I always say, give me 11. So commandment number 11. And it said, embrace that you're not the same person you were when you made mistakes in the past, and they will not repeat. But the question was the one that, smacked
those confession questions
like a train.
Yeah.
And the question was, what past mistakes are causing me self-doubt now? And my biggest thing, and I'm not going to go into deep details, but I share that in my blogs and everything, is actually, you won't believe it, but it's public speaking on stage, or not necessarily on stage, but in front of real people. Just because I had this one experience in 2013 that created from a very, very confident person who never had a problem speaking in school, say, on stages and being a leader, to never wanting to be in a group of people and speaking in front of them again, because I don't want to ever see blank faces. And when I read this, that actually made a huge difference, because what happened in 2013, this is 2019 right now. So we grow. I'm a growth hacker. Like, I grow every month. It's not even, what is 6 years? It's like past life already. And it was amazing to just, face the truth and say, what happened in the past does not define me. What happened yesterday doesn't define me. It doesn't mean that I'm the same person, or I'm going to make this mistake again. That's why I don't believe in failure. So I want to thank you. And I'm so glad that you came to my show, so I could actually thank you in person, because that was, at that moment, it was the most timeliest thing. I can't believe it's a number 11 commandment as well. It's just in synchronicity. It's amazing. And guys, I'm going to have definitely the links to the podcast, to the PDF that you can download. Do it and follow Lisa, because straight talk is what we all need. We need to learn to be real. And we need to sometimes get ourselves in, listening to stories that are real. So much of the, highlight reels, not real. Yeah, there's too many highlights that people are saying, how they build their businesses in 6 months and all that. But they're never talking about how hard it was, and how many hours they worked, and how they had a burnout, and how they took drugs because they had to, overcome the stress that they had, or the family abandoned them. And those are the important stories to know, because it takes a lot to build a business. It takes a lot, and there is no other way to talk about it but being real. Anything you want to add before we finish, Lisa?
Yeah, I love what you're saying. It is so important to really embody and recognize the plight, of the mission-driven entrepreneur, and that by going behind the curtain, opening up the kimono, whatever metaphor you want to use, that really has us owning that it is not a straight line, that it is an upward spiral, that there is struggle, and that struggle serves, is going to help us all keep going. Because I know, after mentoring people for 20 years in this mission-driven space, that because it's so personal, that it's so easy to get knocked down and not get back up. So if you feel like you might be knocked down and you're struggling to get up, plug into my podcast, the GFR podcast, plug into whatever feels like it's going to lift you up, and just know that you are not done yet.
I love that. Thank you again, Lisa, for being my lovely guest today. Guys, thank you for watching. I will see you next week in another episode of Show Up, Stand Out. And if you are listening to this podcast, then you will hear my voice next week on another episode of Show Up, Stand Out. And for now, keep showing up, and we will see you soon. Bye.